Good morning, everybody. Jack Leeson with StartupTrading.com. It is 9:17 here on the 21st of the month, and title of the video is following yesterday's intraday long sequence. So I'm going to start off here with the NQ, back out to the daily chart, and we came off of this traditional on the 10th, and then that next traditional has so far just traded as 38. And if we bust up through really the highs of this range, what can end up happening is that we actually re-engage the extension from the 7th. There's been, basically no continuation of sellers below this level. And what I'm looking for here today and interested in seeing, so we come down, I wasn't here yesterday morning, but we opened basically right at the midpoint and immediately begin selling off. Okay, we just first 30 minutes are just absolutely destructive and until we find support. Once we found that support, um, which really I don't think there was much of a way to win. You would not have been buying this the first test. All right, we're just falling, we're falling, we're falling. We come in and we bounce, and really until you saw even one green 5-minute candle, I don't think it would have been a good idea to anticipate anything else. But we trade up to that upper mid, which was the halfway back short for the day. I'm sorry, lower midpoint, which is that green line, and we come back down. We trade higher again, and then we end up holding this 50. That it broke, but you can see we came in, we held it, we held it, we held it, we held it. There was buyers there after the initial push through, and we completed at the end of the day. Okay, and that is the long sequence I'm referring to um, here. Now, ideally speaking, I would like to see this next traditional setup, which is the lows, the last touch really of 1 o'clock to high, That is going to be and that was roughly a gap fill. That's going to be a gap fill down there as well. So that is my ideal trade location for a continuation long. Now, if we continue up to this negative 100, right now I actually have a limit short right at this negative 100. I don't think we're just going to blast through these levels. We're going to be basically at the 78% of the range, which, actually the 78% of the range is the current high. But if we get up through that, the only case for bulls really have above that is just a complete ripper, and then we would have extensions. I don't see that as a high probability, so I will look to potentially fade that area, and we can even fade from where we're currently trading, because the next traditional, as I said below us right now, is going to be a 22,136. That's going to be that setup I'm looking for. A push higher to the negative 100. I'll look for a fade. Now, if we by chance go through that negative 100, there is the possibility of beginning extensions from the prior day. If that happens, I'll pay attention to the market when it does. But right now, I'm looking for a reversion at that point in time. Now, the midpoint here today is going to be 22,093. I am expecting us to stay above that any and all points. And that would be, let's see, that's below the halfway back. It's basically right at the halfway back long for the day currently. So if we were to get down to there, I would definitely be wanting to respect that as support. What will be interesting to me is if in the first hour we can't get back below the 22,169, which is that upper midpoint, because you can actually make the argument that overnight we had the next traditional, which was front run, and then the most aggressive series here would be this. This would be the most aggressive series, and that is absolutely a potential support level, 22,174 at this point in time. Now, if that ends up pushing higher, if we end up pushing higher, we're just going to have to adjust these anchors. All right, so that's what I got here for the NASDAQ. The ES, same thing on that traditional, that daily traditional. We had the 50% retracement complete, and then that next measured move just got its 38. We never really got well below that. Now yesterday, after trading that, the ES didn't really have this. So this traditional here, This first half of back, I mean, there's nothing to it until there is, right? Like it's basically just a wedge that ends up trading higher, but for whatever reason, once that trades higher, that next traditional, it gets participation. Okay, if you draw from where that 50 is, it gets participation, like literally to the tick. The overnight low is at 50 drawn to high. So that's the only reason I'm taking this into consideration. Now, the ES doesn't have a completion here, but if we do rally off the open to 61.45 half, the overnight low to high will then be a potential support level I'm looking at. And right now, that would be basically the upper mid as well. So otherwise, the only thing I really want to watch here in the ES is kind of that full halfway back long. If we get down to that level, that is going to be a 61.22 half. If we can get all the way down to 61.22 half, I will really like to see that setup. That's my ideal trade location. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of confidence in a setup right now. It just have to be, price action. Like if we got back to yesterday's midpoint in the ES, which is 61.48, maybe looking for a potential short up there based on an entry signal, which I don't have until price prepares itself. But right now in the Nasdaq, really is the only setups I'm waiting to observe, and those are going to be longs below us or a short at this negative 100. And that's really all I got here this morning. I'll share these levels with you guys in the room. Everybody trade safe. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you there.